The National Electrical Code, or NEC, mandates specific installation practices for electrical service conductors that are run underground. This includes both the neutral conductor, often denoted as N, and the equipment grounding conductor, often denoted as E. The primary goal of these regulations is to ensure the safety and reliability of the electrical system by protecting conductors and equipment from potential damage. According to the NEC, all electrical service conductors installed underground must be housed within a conduit or another approved type of raceway. A raceway is an enclosed channel designed to hold and protect wires and cables. Common examples of approved raceways include rigid metal conduit, or RMC, intermediate metal conduit, or IMC, electrical metallic tubing, or IMD, when installed with concrete encasement, rigid polyvinyl chloride conduit, or PVC, and high-density polyethylene conduit, or HDPE. The selection of the appropriate raceway depends on factors such as the specific application, environmental conditions, and local code requirements. The NEC specifies minimum burial depths for underground electrical installations. Generally, conduit or raceway containing electrical service conductors must be buried at least 18 inches deep. This depth helps protect the conductors from physical damage that could result from digging, landscaping, or other activities. It is important to consult local codes and regulations, as they may impose more stringent burial depth requirements in certain situations. In addition to burial depth, the NEC emphasizes the need to protect underground electrical installations from physical damage. This can be achieved through various means, such as encasing the conduit or raceway in concrete, using a thicker walled conduit, or installing warning tape above the buried conductors to alert excavators to their presence. The specific protection method should be chosen based on the anticipated level of risk and the recommendations of a qualified electrical engineer or inspector. The NEC also addresses the installation of electrical service equipment, including the load, which refers to the devices or appliances that consume electrical power. The code requires that all electrical service equipment be mounted on a concrete pad or other approved foundation. The purpose of this requirement is to provide a stable and level surface for the equipment, preventing it from settling or shifting over time. The concrete pad or foundation must be large enough to adequately support the equipment and must be located in a dry, well-drained area to prevent moisture damage. The size and dimensions of the concrete pad should be determined based on the manufacturer's specifications for the equipment and the recommendations of a qualified structural engineer. Proper grounding is a critical aspect of electrical safety. The NEC mandates that all electrical service equipment be properly grounded to provide a low impedance path for fault currents. This helps to minimize the risk of electric shock and equipment damage in the event of a ground fault. Grounding is typically achieved by connecting the equipment to a grounding electrode system, which may consist of ground rods, ground plates, or other approved grounding electrodes. The size and type of grounding electrode must comply with the requirements of the NEC and local codes. The NEC contains numerous tables and articles that provide detailed guidance on the installation of underground electrical systems. For example, Table 300.5 specifies minimum burial depths for various types of wiring methods. Article 310 covers the requirements for conductors, including their ampacity, insulation, and installation. Article 250 addresses grounding and bonding requirements. It is essential to consult these resources and other relevant sections of the NEC to ensure that all electrical installations comply with applicable codes and standards. In summary, the NEC requires that all electrical service conductors installed underground be placed in conduit or other approved raceway buried at a minimum depth of 18 inches and protected from physical damage. Electrical service equipment must be mounted on a concrete pad or other approved foundation. These requirements are designed to protect the electrical system from damage and ensure its safety and reliability. When installing electrical systems, it is crucial to consult the latest edition of the NEC and local codes to ensure compliance. Also, it is recommended to engage the services of a licensed electrician or qualified electrical engineer to design and install electrical systems, particularly those involving underground wiring. They possess the knowledge and experience to ensure that the installation is safe, reliable, and compliant with all applicable codes and standards. Always prioritize electrical safety to protect yourself, your property, and the public. The information provided is intended for general guidance only and does not constitute professional advice. Always consult with qualified professionals for specific electrical design and installation needs. Remember that electrical codes and regulations can vary by jurisdiction, so it's essential to verify and comply with local requirements. The NEC is a comprehensive document, and it's crucial to stay updated with the latest edition and any amendments or interpretations issued by your local authorities. Proper planning, design, and installation practices are essential for ensuring the long-term safety and reliability of your electrical system. Always use appropriate safety precautions when working with electricity, and never attempt any electrical work if you are not qualified to do so. Always energize circuits before working on them, and use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as insulated gloves and safety glasses. If you are unsure about any aspect of electrical work, consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector. They can provide expert guidance and ensure that your electrical system is installed and maintained safely and correctly. Ignoring electrical codes and regulations can lead to serious consequences, including electric shock, fire hazards, and property damage. Always prioritize safety and compliance to protect yourself and others. Keep in mind that electrical codes are constantly evolving to address new technologies, safety concerns, and best practices. Staying informed about the latest changes and updates is crucial for anyone involved in electrical work. This can be achieved through continuing education courses, industry publications, and participation in professional organizations. Remember that electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By following the NEC and other applicable codes and standards, you can help to create a safer electrical environment for yourself, your family, and your community. The NEC provides detailed requirements for the types of conduits or raceways that are approved for underground installations. These requirements take into account factors such as the material of the conduit, its resistance to corrosion, and its ability to withstand physical damage. Common types of approved conduits include rigid metal conduit, intermediate metal conduit, electrical metallic tubing, rigid polyvinyl chloride conduit, and high-density polyethylene conduit. The specific type of conduit used should be chosen based on the specific application and the environmental conditions at the installation site. In addition to specifying the types of conduits, the NEC also provides requirements for the installation of conduits. These requirements include the proper spacing of supports, the use of appropriate fittings and connectors, and the sealing of conduits to prevent moisture from entering. Proper installation is essential to ensure that the conduit provides adequate protection for the electrical conductors and to prevent damage to the conduit itself. The NEC also includes requirements for the size of the conduit that is used. The size of the conduit must be large enough to accommodate the number and size of the conductors that are being installed. The NEC provides tables that can be used to determine the minimum conduit size required for a given number of conductors. It is important to consult these tables to ensure that the correct size of conduit is used. In addition to the requirements for conduits, the NEC also includes requirements for the installation of underground electrical cables. These requirements address issues such as the type of cable that can be used, the depth at which the cable must be buried, and the protection that must be provided to prevent damage to the cable. The type of cable used for underground installations must be specifically approved for that purpose. Underground cables are typically designed to be resistant to moisture, corrosion, and physical damage. The NEC specifies the types of cables that are approved for underground use. The depth at which underground cables must be buried is also specified by the NEC. The required burial depth depends on the type of cable being used and the location of the installation. In general, cables must be buried deep enough to protect them from physical damage. The NEC also requires that underground cables be protected from damage. This protection can be provided by burying the cable in a trench filled with sand or gravel, or by installing a concrete or plastic shield over the cable. The type of protection used should be appropriate for the specific installation conditions. The concrete pad or foundation that is required for electrical service equipment must be designed to support the weight of the equipment and to prevent it from settling or shifting over time. The size and thickness of the concrete pad should be determined by a qualified engineer, taking into account the weight of the equipment and the soil conditions at the installation site. The concrete pad must also be properly reinforced to prevent cracking and to ensure that it can withstand the loads that will be placed on it. The NEC requires that electrical service equipment be mounted on a concrete pad or other approved foundation. The foundation must be large enough to support the equipment and must be located in a dry, well-drained area. This requirement is intended to protect the equipment from moisture damage and to ensure that it remains stable and secure. The concrete pad or foundation should be installed according to the manufacturer's instructions and in compliance with all applicable codes and standards. The location of the electrical service equipment should be carefully considered to minimize the risk of damage from flooding, vandalism, or other hazards. The equipment should also be readily accessible for maintenance and repairs. The grounding electrode system is a critical component of the electrical system. The NEC specifies the types of grounding electrodes that are permitted and the methods that must be used to connect the equipment to the grounding electrode system. Common types of grounding electrodes include ground rods, ground plates, and metal water pipes. The grounding electrode system must be properly sized and installed to ensure that it can effectively carry fault currents and provide a low impedance path to ground. The NEC provides detailed requirements for the selection and installation of grounding electrodes. The grounding electrode system must be tested periodically to ensure that it is functioning properly. The NEC requires that the grounding electrode resistance be measured and that the results be recorded. If the grounding electrode resistance is too high, additional grounding electrodes may need to be installed. Bonding is another important aspect of electrical safety. Bonding refers to the practice of connecting together all of the metal parts of the electrical system to create a common ground. Bonding helps to prevent voltage differences from developing between different parts of the electrical system, which could create a shock hazard. The NEC requires that all metal parts of the electrical system be bonded together, including conduits, enclosures, and equipment grounding conductors. The bonding connections must be made using approved methods and materials. The NEC provides detailed requirements for bonding. Overcurrent protection is essential to protect the electrical system from damage caused by overloads and short circuits. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to interrupt the flow of current when it exceeds a safe level. The NEC requires that all electrical circuits be protected by overcurrent protection devices. The size and type of overcurrent protection device must be appropriate for the circuit that it is protecting. The NEC provides tables that can be used to determine the correct size of overcurrent protection device. The overcurrent protection devices must be installed in accessible locations and must be properly labeled. The NEC also requires that the overcurrent protection devices be tested periodically to ensure that they are functioning properly. Surge protection is another important aspect of electrical safety. Surge protection devices are designed to protect electrical equipment from damage caused by voltage surges, such as those that can occur during lightning storms. The NEC recommends that surge protection devices be installed in all electrical systems. Surge protection devices should be installed at the service entrance and at any sensitive electronic equipment. The surge protection devices must be properly grounded to ensure that they can effectively divert surge currents to ground. The NEC provides detailed requirements for surge protection. Electrical inspections are an important part of ensuring that electrical installations are safe and compliant with the NEC and local codes. Electrical inspections are typically performed by qualified electrical inspectors who are employed by the local government or by a third-party inspection agency. The electrical inspector will review the electrical plans and inspect the electrical installation to ensure that it meets all applicable requirements. If any violations are found, the electrical inspector will issue a notice of violation and require that the violations be corrected. The electrical installation cannot be energized until all violations have been corrected and the electrical inspector has approved the installation. The NEC is a complex and comprehensive document. It is essential to have a thorough understanding of the NEC before attempting any electrical work. If you are not qualified to perform electrical work, it is important to hire a licensed electrician. A licensed electrician has the knowledge and experience to ensure that your electrical installation is safe and compliant with the NEC and local codes.